Hi everyone, this is Kimmy from the Walden family. Um, I'm here to introduce myself and to make a big announcement. Um, First of all, hi. I am currently 22 years old. My husband is currently 24 years old and he will be turning 25 next week. Um, we have been married for almost 2 years. April will make 2 years. We got our own place finally in October. Technically the end of September, but we didn't start living here until the beginning of October of 2018. Um, when we got our own place, I had went off my birth control in September of 2018 at the end of it after being told that if I stayed on it, I was going to eventually get a blood clot in my lungs because I was already showing signs of it. And we had decided that when we got our own place that we would begin trying for a baby. So we started trying the beginning of October. October was not successful. We just missed the mark, I guess. I was supposed to ovulate November 3rd or 4th, but I don't know if I did because I didn't get the ovulation test that I had ordered until the 5th. So I started taking those, and I got a positive ovulation test on November 8th and kept testing. But on November 8th, 9th, and 10th, my husband and I baby danced, and we hit the mark. Best thing I can say. I found out put it this way, my next period was supposed to be November 18th. Well, it did not come. I actually tested on November 18th and it was negative, like completely negative, no line, no nothing. Well, I had talked to my husband on the 19th and I said, I don't think I'm pregnant. As much as I want the baby, I don't think I'm pregnant. I think my period's going to be late and freak me out, or I'm just not going to get my period for November because I very rarely get my period in November. As long as I've had my period, I have never gotten it in November. And on the 20th, I decided to test. And I said, well, if I test and it's negative, it's negative. I'm going to test again on the weekend, so I might get a positive by then. And when I tested and I looked at it, I saw 2 lines. And first I called my husband, who was at like 4:30 in the morning, trying to get ready for work and was really sleepy. I said, yeah, there's 2 lines there, because I thought I was going crazy. Then I took the phone from him and called my best friend before he left for work, because he takes the phone during most of the day, and said, there's 2 lines. And she said, do I need to come over? I'm like, yeah. So she lied to her mom and drove from her house to the store to me within like 20-30 minutes. Came in the house with 2 of the Walmart 88-cent cheapies, and I had already taken 2 other strip tests and had showed them to her. And so I went and tried to pee again and got enough for the 2 Walmart cheapies, and those lines were actually darker than the ones I got on the Easy at Home test that I bought from Amazon. And she said, are you okay? I'm like, it doesn't feel real. And I don't know, because we've had experiences with our friends going to the doctor and, oh, you're not pregnant. A day later, oh, turns out you are. Oh, you're not. And then by the time the doctors come to their damn senses and tell, like, hey, you are pregnant, they've already stressed themselves out or done something because they didn't think they were pregnant to where they lose the baby. And I didn't want that to happen. So we went to the hospital, and I kind of showed my ass, and so did she, to like, hey, I want to know for sure. And within 5 minutes of me giving them a urine sample, the doctor came in and said, you're getting positive pregnancy test. I said, yes, I am. He said, well, that's because you're pregnant. I'm like, no, that's not what that is. Pregnancy me. And then he said, well, don't get too excited because 50% of all pregnancies end in miscarriage. So don't get excited yet. I'm like, I know you're trying to do your job, but this is my first pregnancy. This is my first child. Let me be excited. Like, damn, you ain't gonna say it like that. And then I asked, do you know how far along I am? And he went, I can't tell by urine, but I can tell by the first day of your last menstrual cycle. And I said, well, that was October 21st because I remember I was a day late in October. And he said, well, you're right around 4 weeks. When I downloaded the Bump app and put in the estimated due date he gave me, which was July 28th, that made me 4 weeks and 2 days the day I went to the hospital. We weren't planning on telling anybody until Christmas because I would have had an actual paper and I was going to try and get an ultrasound. Well, after me and my best friend left the hospital, we went and bought a onesie and went to surprise my husband at work because he left and it didn't really click in his head like, oh, we're having a baby. So then we told my cousin who works with him, don't tell anybody. Well, he went on his lunch break and told my aunt who works at the Walmart below their work. And so they knew. On Thanksgiving, we decided to tell my cousin and her husband because we had already talked about wanting them to be the godparents because I trust them with anything. And so we left their house to go to his adopted mom. Like, it's his ex-girlfriend's mom, but she took him in and raised him, so he's adopted. And they found out accidentally because her friend was holding the adopted mom's granddaughter, and she whispered in her, why don't you go ask Aunt Kimmy and Uncle Scott when they're going to have a baby? And I hid, and Scott's face dropped because he cannot keep a secret, save his life. So they all knew immediately. Mama said, I'm just going to call her Mama, but Mama said that she knew because I refused to pick up the little girl because my back really did hurt, but I also wasn't supposed to lift anything. But my back hurts anyway because I have back problems and I'm overweight, so it isn't me, you know. And then when we got back to my cousin's house to pick up the dishes that we had left there because I hadn't helped her make the food and I wanted my Tupperware back, she said that Aunt Bobby, that my aunt, who is Aunt Bobby, already knew because my cousin had told them. And I said, okay, thanks for, ruining my big surprise, Mar, my other cousin. And I was kind of mad when I went home because it wasn't fair. Like, he took away my surprise. Like, that's something I should get to announce to my family. And they were the family that was really supportive. Like, they are really supportive. Like, my other cousin, which is my Aunt Bobby's daughter, takes me to most of my doctor appointments because my husband has to work. So he'll drop me off there in the mornings and she'll take me. And she loves going. Like, she's excited every time we get to hear about the baby or see the baby. She's excited. And about a week after I found out, I went out with my best friend because she wanted to get her hair done. And I really wanted to call my dad because I hadn't talked to them since May of 2017, and this was in November of 2018. And I didn't have his number because I didn't have my phone. My husband has the phone. So she texted my sister trying to get my dad's number, and she wouldn't give it to us. So we just decided to call and tell her. Before I could even get the words out of my mouth, she asked, are you pregnant? And I said, yeah. She said, well, what happened to you staying on birth control? And I explained it to her, and essentially she said that I should have stayed on birth control and died of a blood clot because I was not fit to parent a child. I was too submissive, and my child wasn't gonna thrive in the environment that I'm in. I don't understand this because it's just me and my husband in this house. We are financially stable. Like, we have groceries. Our bills are paid. Nothing is wrong. I still have money for gas and to get to work, and if there was an emergency, I can still handle it. Our landlord is the most forgiving man I've ever met. He even bought presents for the baby. So, but I'm not fit to be a mom, apparently. And then she said that she told my dad, because she had called him from another phone while she was talking to us. And he basically told me to fuck off because I hadn't talked to him to call and check on him, and if I was just calling to say that I was pregnant, then I could fuck off and go on somewhere. So I haven't talked to him since. I was mad, and I went online and I cleared the record, and I told every part of my family that likes to run back to them that they can all, fuck off. Don't look at my shit. Once I find out who you are, I'm blocking you. You will not be in my child's life. They will not be in my child's life because I don't want them around. I don't want their negativity to influence my child. So, I had my first OB appointment at 7 weeks and 3 days. My first OB appointment, they checked my urine, talked to me, asked me the usual questions: when was my menstrual cycle, was I on anything, do I drink, smoke, do illegal drugs, weighed me, checked my blood pressure, and then sent me downstairs for blood work, which was 6 vials of blood. And that hurt because the lady that was doing it liked to pull the needle every time she would take out a vial, and it hurt. On Christmas Eve, I had a scare because I was cramping really bad and I didn't know what it was because I am a first-time mom. I don't know what my body is doing. And we went to my mom's house, and then from there she came and told my husband to take me to the hospital so I could get checked. And they did an ultrasound, they did blood work, they gave me an IV, they did a pap smear. Everything was fine. They said that he was measuring 3 days behind, so he was measuring 8 weeks and 5 days when I was 9 weeks and 1 day on Christmas Eve. So I waited. I actually did start a bullet journal for the pregnancy, and I quit journaling in it because I didn't want to keep journaling if he was still measuring behind, if something was going to happen, or if I was going to lose him. And, well, I'm saying him. I don't know what it is yet. I won't find out until sometime in March, I do believe. But it's just, for now, I can't really call the baby an it. It kind of makes me feel like I don't love it. So I just call it a him. Sometimes I call it a her. Doesn't matter, because we have names picked out for either, so I'm good. And we went home from the hospital. They told me to go get checked by my OB. I went and got checked the day after Christmas, and all they did was check my pee and say to wait until I had my ultrasound, which was January 2nd, and I was 10 weeks and 3 days. He was measuring at 10 weeks and 2 days, which is fine. That means he had called up for the most part. Everything was fine. His heart was beating. He had a brain. Arms and legs are where they're supposed to be. He would like to shake his fist at us because apparently he doesn't like being looked at. And everything was fine. They said everything was good. The next appointment that I had was this past Wednesday, and I was 12 weeks and 3 days, and I did another ultrasound, and he was measuring right on time. He likes to wave and he likes to kick because apparently the first part of the ultrasound he was asleep, and then they kept pushing on him. He woke up and he was not happy. His heart rate was fine. My first heart rate on the ultrasound was 172 at 10 weeks. This one at 12 weeks is 167, which is fine. They want to see different numbers that are relatively close together because that means he's growing and there's no heart problems. And they did the genetic testing for Down syndrome, trisomy 13 and 18, which is where they break your finger and they squeeze out 5 big drops of blood onto a piece of paper. And if those come back abnormal, they will tell me at my 16-week appointment where I will get sit down for another blood draw, and they will schedule an ultrasound soon after to make sure that he's measuring okay, because they have to recheck the folds in the back of his neck. But they do that, and they do that ultrasound, I'll find out before March, because that appointment is in February. But I should find out the gender sometime in March if everything comes back fine, which is fine. Even if it doesn't come back fine, if he has Down syndrome, I don't care. I'm gonna love it. Either way, it's my baby. But, sorry, I'm a little bit out of breath. That's kind of happened. The most symptoms I've had up until now, because I am 12 weeks and 5 days. I'll be 13 weeks on Sunday, which is, I'm actually lucky my weeks roll over on Sunday because my period's started on a Sunday. Nausea, extremely sore nipples. Those stopped about a week ago at 11 weeks. I mean, my boobs still hurt, but I can, handle my shirt and my bra touching my nipple without me crying. I've had headaches. I have had dizzy spells. I've had my sugar drop before, but that was because I was eating a lot of carbs that weren't sustainable, like white bread, white pasta, sugary stuff that would pick me up right then and there, but crash really hard. I've been drinking water like I'm supposed to. I've been taking my prenatals for the most part. I might miss a day or two here and there because I genuinely forget where I put the bottle. Sorry, I don't know, I was in the kitchen. I've had backaches, constipation, frequent urination. And after my first appointment, I was put on antibiotics because I had a UTI, which is normal. I haven't had a UTI since, so yay. Every time I go to the doctor, my blood pressure's been normal. I got the pregnancy history from my aunt because my mom was no longer with us, so I can't really ask her. I can't ask my grandmother either because she's no longer with us. I asked his biological mom about her pregnancy history and the grandma's pregnancy history, and got that information, so just in case I know what to look out for. I'm really excited. I have had hip pain, which I do need to buy a pregnancy pillow soon, but I have it because mainly your joints loosen. Right now, according to the Bump app, the baby is supposed to be the size of a small plum at the beginning of week 12. Then it gives you a daily fact every day. Well, the daily fact for today was that he is now as tall as a tennis ball. So that makes me very, very happy. It means he is growing the way he should. Also, that all of his organs are in his tummy, not in his umbilical cord. I do call it a he because my husband thinks it's a boy. I do believe it's a girl, a little girl, because her heart rate is really high, and my acne has come back. My hair gets oilier faster, even though I just bleached my hair yesterday, which is safe to do as long as you're in a well-ventilated area. I asked. Speaking of which, I have one stranger here that is like, "Waha, how you doing?" And I plan on finishing it either tonight or tomorrow because I still have some pink where I was trying to bleach out the red. I am very, very excited. We have not bought anything yet because we haven't made a decisive list, and we kind of want to buy everything after we find out what it is, because I know my family will help because they're all waiting. They're like, I want to know what the baby is. I want to know what it is because I have not looked at baby stuff because I don't know what it is. Like, I'm sorry, I cannot make him grow any faster. I thought I was going to get the early blood test like my friend did for when she went to her doctor in Charlotte, but the doctor that I go to doesn't do that. So, I don't have the money to go somewhere else and do it because Medicaid won't cover it. I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. I know that he's excited. My husband is very excited, even though he doesn't show it sometimes. He wants baby cuddles probably more than I do. He's excited to help with the baby. He's excited to see it grow up. He's excited to bond with it. He's ready to feel it kick. We did learn, since I have not had caffeine or like coffee, I've had like limited amounts of caffeine. Like I'll have a soda here, like maybe once or twice a week. You know, depending if we actually buy soda. Most of the time I drink like a little bit of Kool-Aid, or like I drink apple juice, because apple juice is, oh my god, my favorite. Or I drink like caffeine-free ginger ale, stuff like that. And he actually bought me coffee today because I really wanted it. Ooh, coffee helps pregnancy constipation so much more than I thought it was going to. My tummy does not hurt anymore. Mommy is very happy right now. But if you want a more precise timeline of from when I found out at 4 weeks, or what symptoms I had before I found out, to now, comment below. I have no problem doing another video. It's not a big deal for me. I can do one. And I will be doing, the name reveal, because we already have a girl's name picked out. We have a boy's first name picked out. I need to look at the baby to pick out his middle name, because I need to see what he looks like. I will do a what's in my hospital bag, what do we have in the nursery, what do we have in our room, what's in the baby's bag, what's in my husband's bag, and more likely I will try and keep y'all updated when the time does come for me to go into labor and going on at the hospital. Everything but the actual birth, because of the hospital's video and photo policy, which I'm going to respect wholeheartedly. I will keep y'all updated throughout the pregnancy, and especially when I find out what it is. If you have any more questions, or are there any more videos that you want to see, comment below. And I hope y'all have a nice day. Bye.